I think this is actually a really great question. If nuclear energy really is such a wonderful thing and can do so much for our society in terms of sustainability, reliable energy, and a low environmental impact, then why are there so many false narratives in society about how evil it is and how bad it is and how it's just such an unacceptable solution? And having been doing public outreach for such a long time and interfacing with individuals on why they are against nuclear energy, and for those who actually claim to know how that started, this is what I can distill from all of that to date. Now, I did hear one academic make an accusation against big oil and gas, basically the Rockefeller Institute, saying that they started it many years ago by instituting a few things that helped promulgate anti-nuclear sentiments. And that makes sense, right? The biggest competitor for nuclear energy is fossil fuels. That's really the only dispatchable energy source that actually could really compete with what nuclear energy can do. And so it would make sense, big oil and gas, to be against it. But I've never actually seen any hard evidence, just accusations that weren't based on any kind of peer-reviewed journal papers or other hard evidence that I would find compelling. Other arguments are that the Hollywood has done it, right, with fantasy, make-believe things that, you know, like the Incredible Hulk, the X-Men, Spider-Man, those kinds of things, and they've helped promulgate it. I think the biggest Hollywood instigator was the China syndrome. I think that did contribute to a lot of anti-nuclear sentiment, because shortly after that, 3 Mile Island came out. So I think that did a big deal. But the only thing that I've actually seen in the literature that was correlated with any kind of anti-nuclear sentiment was what we would call the birth defect. The fact that it came out of nuclear weapons development. And truth be told, nuclear weapons programs, at least in the United States, have a much worse record in terms of safety and environmental protection than does commercial nuclear. And a lot of people will associate the kinds of things that is done in the military complex with what's done in commercial nuclear. And when you compare those, if you actually do a quantitative risk assessment, you can see that nuclear actually still favors quite well, even when you look at what the military's done, particularly the nuclear navy. They're fantastic. But when it comes to making nuclear weapons, there's a lot more harm that's been done. For example, with mining in Navajo land and not having the same kind of environmental consciousness that commercial nuclear does. But all in all, it's still an amazing environmentally friendly program, no matter how you chop it up. Basically, for the amount of energy that you get, the amount of damage that you do becomes just negligibly small, because you just get so much energy out. And when you ask that question, how many people have to die for you to get a kilowatt hour? People are going to die no matter how you do it. You want to minimize that, and the way you minimize it is with nuclear energy, and it's because of energy density. So I hope that answers the question. Thanks for asking. Have a good day. Bye.